we doing, folks? All right. Welcome back, Open Pagan Church, and yes, I am still working on the video feed. Y'all just kind of hang with me while I get this crap worked out here. All right, what do we got?
Boom!
Hello, Who?
I
Chickaboom?
can see you.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go. Yeah. So if you can see with my glasses on,
Oh yeah, look at that.
I got new lights that actually help with the lighting, but the problem is it looks like my eyeballs are in a picture frame. Yeah, well. So I'll just have to try to read the text without my glasses on.
No, it's not that bad. Leave them on.
Oh, it's
Well,
that
you
bad.
wouldn't
I
be
do
able to
not
see
like it.
without them.
Hell, I can't see with them.
Oh,
Well, I hope everybody's doing all right here on this happy day of this presentation. Well, okay, look, so like we're in the moon of Mabon, right?
right.
Yeah, coming up, man. This year is going by quick. Going by quick. So, what are we talking about today? Well, this one could actually kind of be fun, I guess. I'm pulling up my notes over here. Okay, so do we overthink religion?
Depends on which religion you're talking about.
All religions, bruh. All religions. Well, let me read off what I have in my notes, and that'll kind of put us on where we're going with this. Um, so many people put too much into religion. I mean, come on, we blame God when things go wrong, and then we want to take credit when things go right. Many people don't do much. They say, um, and this is one of the ones that's always chapped me, right? Everybody says put it in God's hands. Um, we as pagans, we say we put it in the hands of council, and let's see where it's going to go. But then we turn around and we look, and people are sitting up on their ass watching TV, going, "Oh well, God's got this." Well, no, stupid. You got to get off your ass and do something. So this is the thing that always got me when people are really overthinking religion. That it now granted, anybody that knows me knows um, I'm very faithful in my pagan philosophy, but at the same time I'm a realist. I know that if I don't get off my ass, the grass isn't going to get mowed. Um, Council's not going to come down and cut my grass for me.
Yes, they ain't gonna do it for you. That's for damn sure.
Nope, nope. They're not going to pay my bills, and they're not going to go to work for me. I've tried that one a couple of times. Okay, guys, bring your ass down here and answer the phone. I'm taking the day off. And they're like, ha ha ha. Yeah, right, you go ahead.
Then the phone rings off the wall.
And the phone rings off the wall.
Yep.
The damn thing rings off the wall even if I'm sitting here to answer it. But what do you guys think? Um, do you know? Do we as a race, the human beings? I mean, come on. For tens of thousands of years, human beings have always had some kind of religion of one form or another. Even back before there was writing, even back before there was clay tablets, back prior to Mesopotamia and all the rest of the early human settlements, if you will, the governments, if you will, of yesteryear back in the ancestors. They had some form of religion or belief system. Did they overthink it then, do you think?
I would assume, yeah.
You would think so. I mean, it's natural human race.
Judging by the history of the Catholic Church, I would assume they overthought it a lot.
Now, Lester, I wasn't going to say anything about the Catholic Church.
Catholic and
Well, the Catholics did convert Rome,
yeah.
or well, excuse me, the sword, the spear, and the cross. Not in a good way, the cross, you know.
Right.
But I mean, even prior to that, people were fighting over religion. Even prior to this great big thing we call society, people were fighting each other over religion. If you come in from another village and you didn't follow the same specific gods or goddesses that another particular village believed in, um, you were deemed as what they called evil back then.
A heretic.
A heretic. Yeah. But if we go back even prior to the quote Christian church, right? Prior to the first monotheistic philosophy that the Egyptians built, which Christians can say what they want to, but that's what their philosophy is built off of, was the very first monotheistic belief system of Amun Ra, the sun god, son, father. Anyway, it's all been overthought. So why don't we? Let's let ourselves go down the rabbit hole. Let's let ourselves peek into the annals of the past. Pun intended.
I ain't looking in there at all, bro.
No.
But we try real hard to keep this channel from going down a rabbit hole or going into some place where we maybe can't get ourselves out of. But when you think about it, the topic of do we overthink religion, you've almost got to go down the rabbit hole a little bit and let yourself get in that mindset to understand how people that do that think. What do you think? Anybody? Oh, come on, Discord.
Eh. Come on, Lester. I know you can say something.
Nah, come on, Cindy.
Don't know. It's just the human race. I mean,
Well, you and I had a conversation some years ago why people just can't let things be.
oh, that's just recently we talked about that too. Yeah.
Okay.
There are people that will dwell in the past. People that don't. Just like religion, okay, you're right. People dwell in the past. How many people nowadays think of the past because they have the rights to have things done? Or,
Well, okay, so what if it's not even the past?
present? People want things for granted for present.
Well, what if it's just people? I mean, what if overthinking religion is a people thing?
Think this. People overthink religion. Okay, if we all had one God, as we put it, they were still blaming on not one God. How can I hate when this happens. Overthinking religion. Okay, we believe in one God and a goddess, but we're also in ours we have the Great Spirit. So So why overthink that? Why do we have to put, like, we don't have ours in the Celtic Shaman, we don't name. I don't. I don't have names. Like, if I want something to help me with, I ask the god or the goddess. Or if I need something, the goddess helps me with things lighter, and the heavier things are with the god. To me.
Okay.
But overthinking it, if I just say, okay, deity, please help me. So I'm asking in general, it's not overthinking, okay, I don't have to think about which one's which. So I just generally go, okay, guys, help me.
Okay. All right.
So is that overthinking?
No, actually, my thought process is that would be, and this is just, like I say, my thought on what you're talking about.
Right,
That would simply be accepting religious philosophy for what it is, right?
right,
I mean, a particular deity or a particular set of deities just to do what they do, right?
right. That one. I saw you, Jesse.
Well, I mean, if we don't overthink it, we accept it for what it is, right?
Right,
But are we not going against human nature that wants to understand why the atom needs to be split in order to understand the atom? See, I'm all for science to a degree,
mm-hmm.
but science teaches us not to, okay, the sun comes up. Well, no, the sun doesn't come up, the earth turns, right?
Right. Science is teaching us a different thing instead of religion.
Well, yeah, and science teaches us to analyze the fact that we're analyzing, and why are we analyzing it in the first place? So, are we analyzing ourselves right out of a belief system? And yes, I'm playing
Well,
with the lighting.
Yeah, the lighting's good.
No, it's not.
Uh, what do
and I have to go back into the history of the Catholic Church for this science. The original scientists that started questioning the faith doctrine of, like, the Earth is the center of the universe and stuff like that.
Okay.
They were actually, the majority of them were Catholics and Christians, and they were doing the work for the Catholic Church to update the the belief structure of the Catholic Church. They got a little carried away with it, and they became outcast and excommunicated. But you know, the whole point is it took the Catholic Church years and years, hundreds of years, to actually catch up with science theory as compared to church law.
Okay.
Today, the Vatican agrees that the sun does not come up, that the earth rotates. The
Okay.
Vatican also agrees that the earth is not flat, it's actually round. Uh, they don't live in the Stone Ages anymore, in other words.
Well, some of
They
them
have
do. It kind of depends.
observatories. Well, they have observatories here in
Hmm.
the States,
Yeah.
which is weird because they have the Vatican, they have all that land in Rome. They could build a an observatory, but no, they choose to have one in Arizona
Right. Right.
or Nevada or someplace like that. It's out in the desert somewhere that the Vatican has their own observatory to watch for celestial events. In
Right.
other words, they're waiting for the second coming.
Right. Well, I guess they think Jesus is gonna come in on a
Well,
horse
they're
and
waiting.
go, woo.
Well, they're waiting for
Sorry.
that 3-star alignment again for the Star of Bethlehem to show back up. I guess I don't know. Uh,
Yeah, but has it not? Has society not taught us to overanalyze everything?
well, yeah, that was due to the scientific community actually sprouting wings and testing theories like the theory of gravity, the theory of the speed of light, and it made us more inquisitive. We had to know, and that was always one of my personal setbacks in the Catholic Church is I want you to prove to me that this is this.
Right.
And there's a difference between proof and faith.
Right. Absolutely.
You have I have faith that God exists, yes,
Right.
but prove to me that the miracles happen the way they happen, because it takes more than just faith to believe that Christ turned 2 fish and 3 loaves of bread and fed 50,000 people.
Right.
You know, I must have been one hell of some good sized fish.
Turn water to wine, so to speak.
Well, yeah, the miracles themselves. I mean,
Right. Right.
I have faith that they happened because I believe, but I want to know how they happened. So I'm
Oh, okay.
over analyzing everything. I always have.
But doesn't that also, or in my case, okay, and you've known me, what, now on 30 years,
Too many years. Yeah, too many years.
and you know that I analyze the fact that I analyze, and the reason I analyze is the fact that I analyze because I want to know more. But do we not find ourselves overthinking a situation to the point where we don't understand it anyway?
Well, yeah. I mean, eventually you do, but it all boils down to whether you choose to have faith in something, because you can only analyze something for just so much before it becomes redundant.
Okay.
So that's when faith has to kick in.
Right.
I can't explain it. It is what it is. That's the way it has to be.
Right. Right. And let's take just a moment because I think Facebook may have screwed us on our broadcast.
You're recording.
Huh?
You're still recording.
Am I still broadcasting?
So it's on my webpage. You are.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, we'll just let it keep on keeping on, and if the damn thing deletes it, hell, I'll upload my recording.
And you talk about the people that say I'm going to put it in God's hands. Like, take for instance the storm. You can prepare and you can prepare and you can prepare. You can leave, you can evacuate, you can do all that. But eventually you have to get to the point where you've done everything you can do. The rest is in God's hands.
Yeah, and I
If He's
mean
going to
that's
spare it, He's going to spare it. If not, well, then you start over.
yeah, but that's should that not be? I mean, pagan philosophy, pretty much for most of us, is kind of the same thing. We're gonna light a candle to the deity that we follow, and as we all know, there's thousands of them,
Well, yeah.
and different individuals in different paths of the pagan philosophy. The Wiccans, the witches, the shamans, the fae, the whatever druids. Um, they each have a mildly different or a different pantheon of sort that they follow,
Right.
right? But I think the whole problem comes in is when we overthink it. I mean, I know that if I don't get up and do something that needs to be done, if there's not somebody else that can help me with it or do it, it's not going to get done. And, you know, it's like the story of the guy that was running towards a busy freeway and told his friends, I will show you, Faith, God will protect me. So he takes off running. He falls and trips into a pile of mud and gets up and takes off. Falls going up the ditch, headed for the freeway. Boy, he is balls to the wall. God will protect me. God will protect me. Jumps over a barrier and smack head on with an 18-wheeler. He's standing at the pearly gates, and God's standing there scratching his head, and he's shaking his head, and he's like, God, why did you not defend me? He said, you stupid son of a bitch, I made you trip twice, put a barrier in your way, put a deep ditch that you had to climb over, and you were intent on stepping in front of that 18-wheeler. Now who's stupid?
we got one like that about the Cajun man and the floods.
Yeah. I mean, it comes down to it where you just have to not overthink it, as it were. Cynthia, are we still broadcasting? My screen is white. I got nothing.
Yeah.
I'm broadcasting on my side.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if we lose it, I'll upload it from my recording. No big deal. So I can't see if anybody posts in the chat. So if anybody posts in the chat, let me know.
Yeah. There's only 2 of us in here right now.
Oh, all right. Well, this may be one of those topics that didn't spark anybody's imagination, which I would think it would, because I've always found this fascinating, how human beings overthink everything. And it's not even just religion.
Yeah. Just like Follow Me always say, the humans are at it again.
So that situation there would be considered blind faith.
Oh boy.
How many have used blind faith to do something?
Yeah, but how many times have you heard me tell people, don't follow blind faith?
Right.
Now, granted, you have to find that happy medium between questioning your actions and questioning the actions of the god and goddess. Now, it's always been my experience in meditation that spirit guide wants you to say, why are we doing this? Kind of like a couple of other conversations we've had of the voices in your head. If the voices tell you to jump off the side of a mountain and you don't have a parachute, maybe you might better ought to question that a little bit. Now here's where it becomes personal, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If deity, spirit guide, whatever, tells me to jump out of what I think is a perfectly good airplane, and I have a parachute, I'm going to analyze it for about 10 or 15 seconds going, why? Well, see, therein I'm taking a gamble. Because in 10 or 15 seconds, a plane could disintegrate if deity sees something I don't.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes down to the stories of me driving to work and, being told pull over and stop. Well, what the hell, pull over and stop? And then we pull over and stop, back on smoking, smoke a cigarette, get in the car and get on back down the road and pull in there, and there you go. There's an accident or some shit going on. But at the same time, what would have happened if I had overthought spirit guide, and then I can reword that at the same time and go, what would have happened if I had not listened to the voices in my head? If I had overthought it, if I had overanalyzed it. So where is the happy medium? Um, Cindy, Clint, where's the happy medium for you guys?
Happy medium for me.
Say what?
I said happy medium for me. Huh.
Happy medium for Cindy.
A happy medium for me is, well, my family, besides Clint. Uh, Big brother is the very deacon of the church, so he's really there. Um, we'd agree to disagree on not talking about it, the religion. But sometimes we'll both get into a discussion because he wants to know about my religion now.
Okay.
So we get into discussion. He goes, okay, this is my theory on this. What is your theory? So the happy medium, I guess, is don't bring it up unless in today's society, or especially down here in Beaumont. Oh no, don't talk about it. I guess the happy medium is unless they bring it up.
But I'm talking about the happy medium for self.
For self,
Where, well, yeah, I mean, okay, where
my,
where do you draw the line between argumentative to what we call deity or following deity's suggestions that come to us either through the back of our head, through the voices in my head, through meditation,
oh,
um,
okay.
whatever? Where do you find that happy medium between that doesn't make any sense, I'm not going to do it, or that doesn't make any sense, but let's do it and see what happens?
Okay, this is a good example. Yeah, happy medium. Like the other day, something happened to us. Me and my son. I ain't saying it because no, I'm not broadcasting it. Something happened to me and Thomas, and we both looked at each other and said, "Okay, do we do this or do we not do it?" And all of a sudden, in the back of my head, my deities said, "Go ahead and do it." So we did it, and the outcome was good. It helped us a whole lot. So it's got to be a happy medium. It's got to be your gut feeling, I guess you could say.
Intuition,
Intuition, gut feeling. That would be best for me. Just
spirit
like,
guide.
yes. When the spirit guide pops up and says, do it, I usually do it. Because it's your spirit, my spirit guide.
Okay. And, this type of question or this type of conversation is as personal to everyone. Like you were saying, there's no sense in broadcasting the event. I completely agree with that. When it comes to our life events and what we have to do, the choices we make, the decisions we make, the cause and effect that come out of our decisions, we as human beings individuals, have to make that interpretation, if you will. Right?
It's like the situation was someone left it there, is that the person left it there on purpose to help that individual out.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what I think. So I could take it that way, and that's one I felt that it was the gut spirit guide saying yes, so we did.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like, you're talking about helping, leaving it there, help somebody else out. We are a firm believer in pay it forward.
That's what it was. Yeah, pay it forward. Someone paid it forward, and it's like, oh, okay.
Right. I mean, that's like the air conditioner that went out in the office earlier this year. Um, Council or someone managed to work it out where Walmart refunded the other AC because they couldn't fix it. It was outside of warranty. Or, well, it was within warranty, but according to the warranty, it could not be fixed. And we agreed that we didn't want another AC of that same brand name, so they refunded the whole amount. So we turned around and we went back to another dealer and we purchased a better AC, a stronger AC, for $75 more than what the other one would have cost. So the only thing we had to put in was $75.
Nice.
So the old AC that we pulled out, we knew the issue was to do with the thermostat. So the girls wrote on a piece of paper and taped it to the front, "Works, needs thermostat." And a day or two later, a guy stopped by, read the note, picked it up, well, he had to have some help because that sucker was heavy. Picked it up, put it in the back of his truck, and off he went. And that AC may be working fine for a family today, especially in temperatures where we live of above 100 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't overthink it. If I had overthought it, I would have posted that AC on Facebook, "Needs thermostat, we'll take $100." And I'd have got it.
Later.
Right? But
Mm-hmm.
why not pay it forward? Why overthink something when I think somebody else can use something? And I follow that same kind of philosophy in my idea of paganism and, walking with Triad as a shaman. Our oath is to help others.
Right.
But we also have a variable in shamanism that says, do not help another to the detriment of self, because then you may not be able to help anyone else. Well, that could be deemed as selfish. But if we overthink our religion, to be perfectly honest, in my opinion, if we overthink religion, could we not find ourselves right in the middle of changing our own belief system over to atheism? Clint's too quiet.
What?
I'm here.
Wake up.
All right. Your time.
All right. Happy medium with me is where I just let it flow. I really don't overthink if I don't have to. Like what just happened with me. The alternator of the truck screwed up. And I gave it to deity. I said, please, I need some help. They said, post it on Facebook. I did. Didn't specifically ask for any help or nothing like that. I just said that my alternator broke down on my truck. Don't know how I'm going to pay for it. Well, I had 7 or 8 people come at me. How, you need help, asking me this and that. Well, my friend Jennifer, her cousin, Bobby, says, here. He gave me the full price to get it fixed. Didn't didn't even know.
So
Mhm.
when we when we step up into that type of situation,
We this and that. Well, my friend Jennifer, her
Are you
cousin
broadcasting quick?
Bobby says, "No, I let it off because I started to cry."
I don't know. It gets emotional.
I get it.
Oh yeah.
And yes, right now, everybody, to me, what I've seen on Facebook, listening to people around me, looking at things that are going on in the world around the stores and different stuff. Yes, everybody is overanalyzing, overthinking religion and everything. It's just sad what's going on. But yes, everybody's overthinking at times on so many levels, especially the religion side, because people try to force other religions on you, and it's like we have our own religions. It's just let it be.
And on that note, I think each of us, I mean, those of us in the live broadcast and Discord and anybody that may be watching on one of the different back ends of the live feed, each of us have a story. We have a story to tell. We have something that has happened to us in one way or the other that has allowed us to grow stronger, if you will, in our religious philosophies. And nowadays, when you use the word religion, many people shy away. They're like, "Oh, I don't want to talk about that." No, but I think we should listen. Um, I think in people today that are overthinking everything, they're, like Clint said, overanalyzing everything. Why don't we just listen? I mean, if we spent more time listening and less time talking.
Humans don't want to do that because they're out of control. They don't have control.
Well, yeah, they don't have that control. They don't. Um, and I'm a firm believer that people's voice should be heard. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
There is so much um, unrest and anger and you know strife and drama going on that people don't have time to listen. They're too busy overthinking everything. They're too busy overanalyzing everything instead of going, well, wait a minute. Tell me or share with me your thoughts on what's going on. Let me hear you. And that's been my philosophy as long as I can remember is if if I'm speaking on a topic, let me finish. And then let me hear you. Let me mute my mic. Let me mute my microphone and let me hear you. Maybe if we listen, then we would understand more, perhaps? What do y'all think?
If we could get people to come in and do that in Discord besides the regulars, yeah, that would work. I mean, guest speakers would be awesome.
Guest speakers would be awesome. That's an ongoing offer. But
Yes.
in life, in everyday life,
Well,
um,
it's like you and me. We get on early on Discord and we talk. We
yeah,
both listen to each other.
we
I
just
mean,
talk. Yeah,
it's just talk. It's something, a stress reliever for life. I mean, but we hear each other.
And that's what the issue is right now that I can see is nobody hears another person except for what they want to hear. They don't open their ears and take in everything like they're supposed to.
yeah. But maybe part of the whole point to, I don't know, House of Pagans, Open Pagan Church, whatever. Maybe the whole point is to listen. You
Do
know,
our part. Yeah, our part is to listen. See if people will come in. We've had a few people come new that have listened, and they've also, after these recordings are brought in, posted, I've noticed there's not more people liking it or will give a suggestion.
yeah. And if you look at the stats, I mean, the stats are doing good. I know that,
Motion detected at the ring one.
what?
Sorry about that.
Oh, that's all right. I thought we had somebody else talking to us.
That is my echo saying someone. I've got my alarm system set up so anybody comes at the road, it's picking it up now.
Wow.
So I've got
Okay.
to tone it down.
Right. I mean, one of our archive channels that we upload to is lbry.tv, library.tv. And I really like LBRY because it's an open forum. There are no algorithms blocking you from posting whatever you want to post. And now, granted, I do see some crap out on LBRY that makes me shake my head and go, what? But at the same time, if you block someone's justified opinion, you notice I said justified opinion. If you block someone's justified opinion, then what are you learning? If you're overthinking the entire situation of where everyone else is coming from, what are you learning? Most especially if you're overthinking your own religion, what are you learning?
Right. Uh,
Nah, we lost you.
my mind farted.
Oh, mine does that. I hate that.
Yep. So what do you think, Clint?
We are supposed to learn all the time, but people don't realize that they get into a comfort zone and don't want to learn. They just want to be what they are right now. But we're supposed to, like they said, evolve, learn new ways, new thoughts, new religions. Um, people just don't know how to learn properly in the face side.
Yeah, let's think about this. There are, I would have to look it up to be sure, but I believe the Congress of the United States has their first Muslim that is actually sitting on Congress as a Muslim. And I'm okay with that. in order to be the President of the United States, you are forced to justify your Christian philosophy. And everybody knows, I'm going to say this very carefully, okay? Everybody knows I'm no fan of Donald Trump. But when he was elected, the very first pressure that was put on him was, what church will you go to? His reply was, I don't go to church. No, 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 no. You're going to be President of the United States. You have to be Christian and you have to attend a church. Now, let's step back. And I'm not getting into a debate about who's the best president or whatever. I'm getting into the idea of overthinking religion, because when Obama was elected president, they accused him of being a Muslim. Well, if you look at his history and his past and where he's been and his wife, he's not a Muslim. He's a Baptist. But he's not an evangelistic Baptist. He's just a Christian. And his conversation was, I don't really want to go to the church you guys are telling me to go to. What difference does it make? Freedom of religion. Oh no, if you're president, you have to go here. You have to do this, or you won't be accepted by the people. Now, I don't give a damn whether you're pro-Trump, anti-Trump, pro-Obama, or anti-Obama, or whatever. If someone was to look you in the face and say, you, to be accepted, have to go to this church, this is a family broadcast, so I'm not going to say what I would tell somebody.
See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.
Right. But we have found ourselves worse off than we were 5,000 years ago, in the fact that we hyper accentuate things that doesn't make someone a good person or not. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
Yep.
Perfect sense.
If I mean, even back prior to my even back prior to my oath to the pagan philosophy and my oath to the ministry, Lester knew me when I was trying to find me. When I was trying to...
Nice puppy.
Well, yeah. But if I overthought back then, and if Lester overthought back then, when Lester came back to Texas and we got to talking and I told him what I wanted to do about this pagan gathering, we completely accepted each other. You're Catholic, I'm pagan. We're going to help each other.
Yeah. More power to you, Brad. Let's go for it.
Hell yeah, let's get on it. And when Clint came around in 2005 during Hurricane Rita, and he stayed on property, and he started opening his mind to what the pagan philosophy was. There was no pressure. We didn't overthink it. We didn't overanalyze it. My only conversation was, Clint, is I realize you're not pagan, and that's fine. You're welcome. My home is your home. The only rule of the property is respect, and do not push your religion off on me or anyone else. Clint, you remember that conversation?
Yep, and at the time I really didn't have a religion, so
Right.
it was kind of crazy at the time.
Everyone should be allowed to go through the lost puppy stage. You know, as Lester Fair coined it. Everyone should be allowed to go through that stage. But if we overanalyze religion, we overanalyze relationships. That's one of my biggest problems, and I'll say it straight up. I overanalyze the hell out of relationships, of course. Being down the road I've been down, well, okay, I would overanalyze relationships. I've been with some real interesting folk. Shut up, Lester.
Say that again. I'll say it.
I'll say it. But that's also helped. That's also helped make me who I am. The the good times, the bad, the blessings, and the hard knocks helps make you who you are.
Right.
But I accept that. Okay? I don't overanalyze it. I don't overthink it. If I do tend to overthink something, counsel tends to smack me over the head with a 2x4. And I'm okay with that. But if you overthink religion and you overthink your spirituality, you can analyze yourself right slap as into atheism. Any thoughts on that?
I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've seen it happen.
Well, where's the stopping point?
Self,
Okay, self, alright,
like you said, that magic word, stop.
stop. Yeah, you know, I mean, there are some times, and you know, me being who I am, there are some times that I like to sometimes go down the rabbit hole just to see what's down there. There are sometimes I will let myself wind myself up to the point where I'm just sitting there, you know, going la 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 la, and not making any sense to anyone. But that's okay because I'm not hurting anyone.
You know, sometimes the problem with going down a rabbit hole around here, bruh, is that if you find yourself in the hole, you might find yourself face to face with a cottonmouth or a water moccasin.
Yeah.
Well, that's like last night. I got so wound up by everything going on and this bill, that bill, everyday life crap. And I said, you know what? I'm going to let loose. And I feel so much better today.
You absolutely have to. You have to sometimes, in a safe place where you feel safe, let yourself loose, go down that analytical rabbit hole, because in my mind, if you don't let yourself sometimes just let it go. Cry if you need to. Jump up and down and scream and holler if you need to. Let yourself get angry if you need to.
Hmm. Brings to the point where you cry.
Yeah, well, also though, and before you do that, before you let yourself go down that rabbit hole, have an anchor. Something or someone that if you get too deep can pull you out. We get so wrapped up in the cesspool of life and anxieties and anger and stress and everything else that's going on. Sometimes we lose track of what's important.
Oh boy.
Sometimes we just lose track of the important things. Well, maybe if we did less overthinking of our own religion and embracing our own religion, letting ourselves periodically go off of the deep end for just a minute, just a couple of minutes, just to let self be out of control, as long as you're not a danger to others or yourself. Have an anchor. Have someone or something that can pull you out. I've had enough practice on it, enough practice at it through the years that I'll say, okay, we're going to do this. I'm going to let my brain slip into what if, maybe if I, shoulda, woulda, coulda, and I let that spiral start. And for what it's worth, at the end of the day, by the time all the analyzing is done, by the time all the crying is done, by the time all of the beating of the pillow is done, and by the time everything is said and done, I come back to the reality that I'm still pagan. I still believe in the gods and goddesses. I still believe humans should have the right to marry or be with, live with, shack up with, shag whoever, any consenting person that they want. Notice I said consenting. And I'm not going to go into the philosophy of BDS&M, so y'all just go ahead and do your thing. But believe God is who God is to you. Believe who God and Goddess is to you. At the end of the day, it doesn't make any difference whether or not I agree with your belief system. It's not my place. But it's damn sure not your place to impress upon me. If you don't agree, tell me. But tell me why. Don't overthink me. Don't analyze me. Shit, I can do a good enough job of that on my own. I don't need any help.
Hmm.
Anybody else have anything that they want to offer to the folks before we call it a day?
Well, what our topic is overthink religion. Everybody needs to try and have an open mind on different religions, faiths, everyday living. Try and use it as knowledge.
Everybody just needs to be who they are.
Correct.
Unless you're an asshole, don't be an asshole.
Oh, come on.
You gotta be an asshole
At
once
least
in a
let me
while.
have some fun, damn it.
Well, I mean, if you're going to be an asshole, be a nice asshole. I
I'm a
mean,
giving asshole. I can't help it.
yeah, yeah, gotta love you, Lester.
Did you stop the recording?
Nope, I did not. I just flipped over to the closing screen
Oh,
while
okay.
we close. Um,
Okay. Go ahead.
well, okay, guys. I mean, thank you everyone for watching. It looks like we had a couple of people come and go in chat, but nobody really said anything, so you haven't missed anything. But to those of you that overanalyze, overthink your own religion, just let it be what it is. Learn what you can, do what you can, be a good person. I mean, at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. Just be a good person. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Open Pagan Church. Have a great day and have a great week.